A wallet stuffed with cash, sitting on a shelf at a Japanese police lost and found counter, every single yen still inside. That is the first thing Americans need to see to understand what makes Japan feel genuinely impossible. This video shows you 4 everyday Japan moments that would never survive a single afternoon in most American cities, and explains exactly why they work here. Number 1. The returned wallet. Picture this. You drop your wallet on a busy Tokyo street. It has the equivalent of $300 in cash inside. In America, that money is gone. In Japan, the odds are overwhelming that a stranger picks it up and hands it to the nearest koban, a small neighborhood police box, without touching a single bill. This is not a rare feel-good story. Japan's lost and found system handles enormous volumes of returned cash every year, and the return rate for wallets with money inside is remarkably high by any international standard. The koban itself is part of the infrastructure. These small police posts sit on street corners throughout Japanese cities, and their entire purpose is to be a trusted drop-off point for exactly this kind of situation. An American visitor who loses a wallet in Tokyo and gets it back intact does not feel lucky. They feel like the laws of physics just broke. Here is what makes the next example even harder to process for Americans. Number 2. The unattended umbrella stand. Walk into almost any restaurant, office building, or doctor's clinic in Japan and you will find a rack of umbrellas sitting completely unguarded near the entrance. Dozens of umbrellas. No locks. No attendant. No security camera pointed directly at them. In America, an unattended rack of anything near a public entrance is an invitation. In Japan, those umbrellas sit there all day and almost nobody takes one that is not theirs. The social pressure against taking something that does not belong to you is strong enough to function as a physical lock. Americans who visit Japan for the first time often photograph these umbrella racks the way tourists photograph landmarks, because the sight of unguarded property in a public space genuinely registers as something that needs documenting. That same logic scales up dramatically in example 3. Number 3. The unlocked bicycle outside a grocery store. Across Japanese neighborhoods, bicycles sit outside shops, stations, and parks with nothing more than a small wheel lock that a determined thief could defeat in seconds. Many bikes have no lock at all. Riders leave them and walk away. The bikes are there when they return. In American cities, leaving an unlocked bike outside for 10 minutes is considered a donation to whoever passes by first. Japan's bike theft rate exists, but it is low enough that the default behavior for millions of daily riders is simply to leave the bike and trust the environment. That trust is not naive. It is backed by decades of consistent social behavior that makes theft feel genuinely abnormal rather than just illegal. And the fourth example is the one that hits Americans hardest. Number 4. Cash left at a restaurant table. In many Japanese restaurants, especially smaller family-run spots, the bill comes to your table and you leave cash on a small tray. The server may not come back immediately. You could, in theory, walk out. Almost nobody does. The system assumes you will pay, and that assumption is almost always correct. Compare that to American dining, where restaurants move to pay at the counter or tableside card readers partly because the walkout problem is real enough to design around. Japan's version does not require a technological fix because the social contract is functioning. The restaurant trusts you. That trust is extended as a default, not earned individually. What ties all 4 of these together is not some mysterious cultural magic. It is a practical infrastructure of trust, police boxes on corners, social norms reinforced daily, and a shared understanding that the system only works if everyone participates. Americans are not less trustworthy as individuals. The environments are simply built differently, with different default assumptions about what strangers will do. Every video on this channel takes one specific Japan scene that looks impossible to American eyes and breaks down the actual mechanism behind it, so you leave with a real explanation, not just amazement. If that is the kind of thing you want more of, subscribing means you will not miss the next one. Here is the question worth sitting with: Japan's cash culture extends far beyond lost wallets. Vending machines in Japan sell items worth thousands of yen, sit unattended in quiet alleys, and almost never get vandalized or robbed. How does that work? And what does it say about the difference between designing for trust versus designing for theft prevention?